We're looking into a picture going around online of a 2002 episode of The Simpsons. It shows Donald Trump touching a glowing orb with two Middle Eastern-looking men. Well, last month, President Trump did just that with the king of South Korea.
And we are looking into yet another claim about The Simpsons predicting a big news event. The story this time is that the iconic TV show eerily predicted the outbreak.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet the future masters of the human race.
Ah! Comic-Con nerds!
You fool, these are robots. You will train them, and they will replace you.
For over 30 years, The Simpsons has been more than just a hilarious cartoon. It's been strangely predictive of real-world events.
They predicted a Donald Trump run for the presidency back in 2000.
And it seems The Simpsons just can't wait to deal with Donald Trump.
From mind control through music to the possibility of a nuclear disaster.
No, this can't be happening!
The show has consistently mirrored the unexpected twists and turns of our world. Now with 2025 fast approaching, what else has The Simpsons predicted?
Wake up, everybody! It's World War III!
What crazy Simpsons scenarios could come true in 2025? In this video, we will examine The Simpsons predictions for 2025. AI robots. The Simpsons are kind of spooky when it comes to predicting the future, especially with technology. For example, in Treehouse of Horror 14, Homer loses his job due to an alcohol test, hinting at a future where robots take over jobs, something that's happening now with AI. By 2025, robots could be doing a lot more than just assisting. They could be taking over entire roles.
What do you think your greatest skills are?
Well, I would say that one of my greatest skills is my ability to interact with humans in a conversational manner.
Another episode has Homer and his friends training AI robots. A thought that felt crazy back then, but is happening today. But just like in the 1994 Itchy and Scratchy Land episode where robots go rogue, there are real warnings about AI turning against us.
I look at their hands, which have turned into buzzsaws.
And with AI advancing so fast, we might be in for some big changes by 2025. What other Simpsons predictions should we look out for in 2025? Could The Simpsons be the ultimate fortune teller? What you are about to hear will blow your mind. Economic collapse. Imagine this. The Simpsons predicted the financial chaos of 2025, where an economic collapse has the potential to reshape the world as we know it. The show, with its knack for predicting the future, has already given us a glimpse of what this might look like. In one of the episodes, Treehouse of Horror 99, a disastrous economic fallout begins when Homer's job at the nuclear plant goes south, leading to societal breakdown. Fast forward to Back to the Future, and we see Lisa Simpson as president, inheriting a dire budget situation left by the previous administration. Her words echo real-world struggles. As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. Could 2025 see the fulfillment of these Simpsons predictions? If history repeats itself, we might be in for an economic roller coaster with financial disasters and political power shifts, reshaping everything we know. Baby language translator. Anyone who has ever spent time around a crying baby knows how frustrating it can be trying to figure out what they want, especially when they can't tell you directly. It's one of those universal frustrations that everyone can relate to. Well, The Simpsons took a hilarious shot at this dilemma in one episode, and it might just be a prediction that could come true sooner than we think. In the episode, a genius character creates a device that translates a baby's cries into something adults can understand.
You see? It tells you exactly what's on the baby's mind.
The idea is as funny as it is genius, giving us a wild and entertaining look at how a simple misunderstanding can turn into a chaotic parenting moment. But while the situation is played for laughs, the idea behind it is pretty amazing. What's even cooler is that this concept might not be as far-fetched as it seems. Researchers and scientists are already working on technology to analyze sounds in ways we never imagined, which means a real-life version of this baby translator could be on the horizon. Thanks to The Simpsons, we might just be one step closer to making parenting a little less of a guessing game. As technology continues to advance, Simpsons' predictions are becoming increasingly relevant, and their take on AI is a warning we shouldn't ignore. Apple Vision Pro. May have seen the future when they showed Springfield residents using virtual reality headsets in their 2016 episode, Friends and Family. The characters used the headsets to travel anywhere, finish tasks, and enjoy life without moving a muscle. Sound familiar? This looks a lot like Apple's Vision Pro, which lets users interact with a virtual world using just their eyes and hands.
A video that has gone viral on social media claims The Simpsons predicted the newly released Apple Vision Pro. And in the clip, characters are seen going about their daily lives. You can see them wearing virtual reality headsets.
The episode hilariously shows how people got so caught up in their virtual lives that they forgot about the real world. In 2025, with devices like the Vision Pro gaining popularity, will we see The Simpsons' prediction come true? Maybe it's time to prepare for a future where virtual reality blends into our everyday lives in ways we never imagined. Autonomous vehicles. In The Simpsons, self-driving cars take a turn for the worse in the episode, "Baby, you can't drive my car." While self-driving vehicles are a huge leap forward, this episode shows how things can go wrong when technology doesn't work as expected. Homer and Marge end up in a self-driving car, and Homer gets confused about how to steer, only for the car to continue moving even when he needs a bathroom break. It's an unsettling thought, right? In real life, we've seen the development of self-driving cars, though they're still a work in progress. Companies like Tesla and Waymo are making strides, but challenges remain, from safety concerns to the legal side of things. There's also the issue of accidents caused by malfunctioning tech, just as The Simpsons predicted, like people walking into traffic while distracted by their VR headsets or having a self-driving car fail to stop in time. But all of these problems will be solved just in time for 2025, and we will get to fully see autonomous vehicles on our roads without major hiccups. Donald Trump's presidential elections. Still, the most thrilling to date is the prediction of Donald Trump as president. In a 1998 episode titled Bart to the Future, Donald Trump is shown as the 45th president of the United States. At that time, Trump was a reality TV star and businessman far removed from the political world. The episode's writers later claimed it was just a joke based on Trump's flamboyant personality. However, when Trump announced his candidacy in 2015 and subsequently won the election in 2016, Simpson's prediction became the talk of Hollywood. Whether it was a lucky guess or a random jab that accidentally hit the bullseye, the episode remains a mystery in American political history. Now, here's where it gets intriguing. The Simpsons predicted that Trump would win the 2024 election. Fast forward to the 15th of November, 2022, when Trump announced his intention to run for president again in 2024. Interestingly, Al Jean, a writer for The Simpsons, shared on X that the show had predicted this way back in 2015 during an episode where the Simpson family travels into the future. In that episode, Homer walked by a sign that said Trump 2024, which was just wild when you thought about it. What was even crazier was that this episode aired long before Trump even became president. The Simpsons didn't stop there, though. They had already predicted Trump's presidency in an earlier episode, even mentioning that the next president after Trump would have to deal with budget problems caused by his time in office. By the time the presidential election rolled around in November, fans of the show were eagerly waiting to see if The Simpsons would once again prove how spot-on their predictions were. If you were still skeptical, had you ever wondered how the producers managed to predict that Trump would not only run for president but win? It was honestly mind-blowing and remained a bit of a mystery. Now that we've talked about Trump, let's see what The Simpsons had to say about his daughter. FIFA controversy. The Simpsons predicted the infamous FIFA bribery scandal in the episode You Don't Have to Live Like a Referee, Season 25, Episode 16. The storyline shows corrupt soccer officials being arrested and highlights bribery in international football. Interestingly, shortly after the episode aired in 2014, real-life FIFA executives were indeed arrested for corruption.
FIFA, the world governing body for soccer, is under fire yet again for corruption allegations related to the 2018 and 2022 World Cup bids,
making the prediction eerily accurate. The episode also features Homer standing firm against taking a bribe while working as a referee, a humorous take that contrasts sharply with real-world events. The show's writers even depicted Brazil losing to Germany in the World Cup, though in real life, this occurred during the semi-finals instead of the finals. Looking ahead to 2025, given FIFA's continued controversies and global discussions about transparency in sports, it wouldn't be surprising if The Simpsons' foresight continues to resonate. Moving to Mars. One of the most thrilling predictions from The Simpsons is the colonization of Mars. In a standout episode, Lisa and Marge embark on a mission to build a habitat on the Red Planet. While Lisa volunteers for a one-way trip, Marge isn't too thrilled. To stop her, the whole family signs up. The show imagines Mars colonization happening before 2026, though the mission initially fails. Lisa and Marge make it to Mars in February 1951. But in a surprising twist, Lisa decides to move to Venus instead. This wild scenario might seem out there, but it aligns with Elon Musk's real-life ambitions for Mars. His SpaceX program is pushing for space travel and aiming to make Mars home for humanity. Many have already applied for this mission, eager to make this space dream a reality. Ivanka Trump is in line to become the future president. Do the writers of The Simpsons have a fascination with Donald Trump and his family? Well, before you jump to conclusions, let's take a closer look at a subtle moment from the show. Up until now, The Simpsons had already made a name for itself by accurately predicting major political events like Donald Trump's election to the presidency. But they didn't stop there. In an episode that aired in October 2016, the writers dropped a hint that Ivanka Trump, Donald Trump's daughter, might run for president.
You are the reason he ran for president in the first place, and you are the reason he is going to keep fighting for 4 more years.
This prediction stood out in one episode, where Homer Simpson is seen wearing a campaign button reading Ivanka 2028. While it's easy to brush this off as a funny gag from the writers, it's quite telling. The prediction about Ivanka's potential presidential run is no accident. It's likely a calculated choice, especially considering Ivanka's growing influence in politics, largely shaped by her father's tutelage. When The Simpsons make a prediction, it often has a deeper connection to reality, and this case is no different. While we can't say for sure if Ivanka will run for president, let alone win, the show's history of making accurate predictions makes us wonder. What's even more interesting is that Ivanka's potential presidency could signal something bigger: the possibility of a woman becoming president of the United States. So how would you feel if Ivanka Trump had decided to run for president? It might seem unexpected, but knowing The Simpsons' track record, we might want to keep an eye on this one. But that wasn't all. Here's a prediction that was way ahead of its time. The Simpsons hinted at futuristic food technology that could change the way we experience meals. Black hole. India's recent space launch might help us reveal new secrets about black holes. But a 2013 Simpsons episode, Treehouse of Horror 23, had something even scarier in mind. In this spooky tale, a small black hole appears in Springfield and starts pulling in objects. As it grows larger, it devours more and more, eventually consuming all of Springfield. But instead of destroying everything, the black hole transports the people and objects to another dimension, where extraterrestrial beings greet them as visitors from another realm. It's a wild idea that raises the question, could black holes be gateways to other worlds? With space exploration advancing, could something like this be discovered in 2025? It's both exciting and terrifying to think about. Zombie apocalypse. In The Simpsons, a zombie apocalypse sparked by a food-related crisis becomes a hilariously chilling prediction. In the Treehouse of Horror 20 episode, a burger called Burger Square, made from cannibalistic cows, turns out to be a deadly creation. The first person to take a bite, Kent Brockman, quickly transforms into a zombie-like creature called a muncher. The virus spreads fast, turning Springfield into a zombie-infested chaos, leaving only the Simpson family to survive. Bart is mysteriously immune, and the family races to find safety amid the madness. While this wild scenario is full of laughs, it also paints a picture of how a foodborne disaster could spiral out of control. While a zombie outbreak may seem far-fetched, the idea of a food-related pathogen causing mass panic feels a bit too real. War in 2025. Could a harmless prank in an 80s cartoon be pointing to something much more troubling about our future? Well, on November 22nd, 1987, The Simpsons aired a special episode on The Tracy Ullman Show. It was packed with laughs, but if you look a little closer, there might be something deeper going on beneath the humor. Now, before you think we're overanalyzing this, hear us out. Some of the most accurate predictions made by The Simpsons have been simple little side notes that most people didn't even pay attention to. It's wild to think about, but sometimes it's those throwaway moments that turn out to be spot on. So, in this particular episode, Homer Simpson keeps pranking his family by scaring them with World War warnings. He would wake them up in a panic, telling them to rush into the fallout shelter, acting like the end of the world was coming. So now, here's the thing, do you think an ordinary guy's makeshift shelter could protect his family from a nuclear fallout? That's a question we will leave to the Mythbusters. But the episode was a joke, making fun of the panic that could happen if a serious global conflict got too close. Honestly, the idea that regular families might have to act like Homer's was a pretty bold prediction at the time. Fast forward to today, and we're a lot closer to that World War III scenario than we were in the late 80s. First, we had a global scare in 2020, with tensions rising before the pandemic hit. Then, if you keep an eye on world politics, it's pretty clear that conflicts are happening all over the globe. So the big question is, could 2024 be the year everything comes to a head? Could we see nations pushing things too far, leading to a major global conflict? Well, The Simpsons' ability to predict the future doesn't stop there. Holographic technology. In The Simpsons episode titled Bart to the Future, we get a fun look into a future where holograms are used for everything, including sending messages. The episode is funny and impressive, but here's the big question. Could holograms replace phones by 2025? Could they become our main way to communicate? In that same episode, there's also a scene where a mailman delivers a letter to Bart in the form of a hologram, complete with the phrase "smell you" later as a sign-off instead of a typical goodbye. This playful take on future communication is pretty fun to think about, especially when you realize that holograms are already starting to pop up in the real world. You can find HD 3 holograms in some stores like Best Buy. We're not living in a hologram-filled world just yet, but it's pretty clear that we're on our way. Virtual reality food. Could virtual reality replace our favorite foods? The Simpsons threw this idea out years ago, and the tech world is starting to make it real. It all began in the Treehouse of Horror 6 episode from Season 7, where Homer and Marge are shown enjoying virtual fudge through straws while wearing their virtual reality headsets. At the time, it seemed like a wild-the-top idea. Who could have ever imagined eating food without actually tasting it? It felt like something straight out of science fiction. But fast forward to today, and we're starting to see the possibility of a future where virtual reality changes how we experience dining. It's hard to believe that technology could impact something as basic as food, right? But knowing The Simpsons, their predictions often end up closer to reality than we'd expect. With the rapid pace of advancements in technology, what once seemed far-fetched is starting to feel more plausible. It's already happening. The Royal Caribbean Cruise Line is planning to offer guests a virtual reality dining experience, proving that what seemed like a joke just a few decades ago might soon be the next big thing in food. Imagine enjoying all your favorite foods without worrying about calories. No more late-night fridge raids or counting carbs. With virtual reality food, you can experience digital dishes in a completely immersive way without ever gaining a pound. Companies like Aero Banquets RMX are already pushing the boundaries by creating virtual reality experiences that simulate not only the look and feel of food, but also the smells and sounds. It's like stepping into a fantasy world where you can savor every bite minus the guilt and calories. But here's the thing, virtual reality food isn't just about enjoying meals without any consequences. It's also opening up new possibilities for how we experience food. Imagine being able to explore the journey of your meal, learning about sustainable farming, or even cooking alongside a virtual chef guiding you every step of the way. What started as a quirky joke on The Simpsons is quickly becoming more and more plausible. As technology advances, the idea of virtual reality food might just change the way we think about dining. So who knows? The future could bring us food experiences we never imagined. Nuclear Armageddon. The Simpsons have once again made a spine-tingling prediction about nuclear Armageddon, and fans can't help but be on edge. In one episode, Homer is the only survivor of a nuclear disaster, and this is a very unsettling thought that feels a little too close for comfort. Another plotline sees a secret organization setting off a nuclear explosion. What's even creepier, the world today is seeing rising nuclear tensions, especially with military threats in the air. Like those from Russia, The Simpsons even predict disruptions like solar flares or nuclear plant meltdowns that could bring chaos. And scientists today are warning about real threats like cyber attacks on nuclear plants or solar storms messing with our tech. Is it happening? Only time will tell, but this is a prediction to watch out for.